What's up, guys? So today I want to talk about 3 simple steps how you can integrate and troubleshoot or discover and transform a negative thought, belief, and why you're feeling, and ultimately what it is that is causing you to feel bad at any given moment. And this is a simple process. So just remember this 3 simple steps, and you can basically transform any negative feeling you have and any negative perspective that you have of a situation that you want to uh, integrate into a loving one, into a one that's positive and that's one that is more aligned with what it is that you want to embody right now. So beginning here, we have step 1, which is the octagon. It's the stop sign, right? It's taking a moment, taking a break from what it is that we are thinking and feeling and experiencing out in the world, so that it does not, so that feeling does not get repressed and suppressed and kind of overtaken and buried in your awareness. So it can be brought up to your, the light of your own awareness, and then be transformed into something that you really want to, instead of it having to continuously come back to you and you denying it in a way of integrating and loving and giving it the proper attention that it needs, so that you can ultimately feel more connected with yourself and with the entirety of all that is. So step 1 is identifying what it is that is making you feel bad. So if you have a bad feeling whenever you think about sex, whenever you think about having sex with somebody, for instance, or it could be even something a little bit more common, like I have a bad feeling whenever I want to make a video on Instagram or YouTube or something. And then, once you have identified what is triggering you to feel bad, then you are in that proper position to no longer be that. If you are in the position to observe it, you are no longer it. When you are in the position to look at that, whatever that thing that is making you, that idea, that perspective, that statement that is making you feel bad, and you can repeat this and make sure that it is that idea, that belief, that statement, that thought form that is making you feel negative in any way, shape, or form. By the way, it's not so much important that you know what emotion you are feeling, because that is a really complicated process, and you just want to simplify it as much as possible and just indicate that a statement or feeling feels good or it feels bad. So when you figure out what feels bad and what is ultimately making you suffer and not express yourself and be the ultimate expression of love in your life, then you can understand, what it is that is, you can start the three-step process of understanding and seeing a new perspective. Because once you've made it aware within your own consciousness, within your own awareness, once you've identified it in a way and seen what the statement or the idea or the concept is that is making you feel this bad, negative way, then you are in the position to ultimately look at it another way, to integrate and love that perspective and that thought form and that concept and that statement, and then change it into something that you prefer. And this requires, going through this three-step process. So the next step is why. It's a focusing and targeting of why it is you believe this? Why? So, say for instance that you're taking the example of making a video on YouTube, making a video on Instagram or Facebook, and the feeling is I feel bad because whenever I think about making a video, then I think that people will hate me, and that's a why. And you can go down the list, and I highly recommend you write this out and figure out first what it is that makes you feel bad. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be something like, I feel bad about working at my current job, and then you could go, okay, why do I feel that way? Why? Because I don't like the work I'm doing. I feel these are all lists of why. The becauses are your explanation of why. It's your reasoning. So I don't like the work I do. I don't like how I spend 40 hours a week there, and I much rather be doing, something that I enjoy. And I think this thought of not feeling good, and I have this feeling of not feeling good because the second step is figuring out why. Because I have this idea and this statement that if I don't go to work, then I won't find the money to pay my bills or go and do the things that I enjoy that require money. And you can go down the line, and this could look so many different ways, and I highly recommend that you write this out and really get to the work and get to the necessary awareness and level of your consciousness where you can pinpoint and target, like the triangle, what exactly it is that you are the reasoning and your belief, your logic, and your the things that you're reinforcing in your mind through the subconscious. Because this is the conscious, right? From the conscious level, we're asking what. From the subconscious, we're asking why. And from the unconscious, we're asking how it is serving us. And before I get to how, the second step is all about finding out why you have a bad feeling about making a video on Instagram or YouTube. Why it is you feel negative and feel contracted whenever you have a desire to maybe share an intimate connection through sexual means and romantic means with somebody, and figure out list out why the reason you are thinking that, and that the reason why it is serving you to think that. And which brings us to the third step, which is a circle. It's integration, and that's finally asking, how is that thought, how is that statement, how is that perspective, how is that angle of looking at things? Because all the what and why and the how is just a perspective. It's just a point of view that has been serving you. So you want to find out in step 3 that how the idea of you not making a YouTube video is serving you. So it could be serving you in making you feel safe, in making you feel protected, making you feel secure, because you're not being vulnerable, because you're not risking anything. You're just continuing to do the things that are very familiar to you, that are very that are very conscious, and you'll continue to do these things and not essentially find out why you're not living the life of your dreams and living in a high vibratory frequency and living in a state of love at all moments and all times and all perspectives. So finding out how this belief is serving you, and how it's keeping you safe and protected, and how it's keeping you it's giving you a reward or benefit or a payoff. It's giving you a trade-off. Like there is an exchange happening between you and this unconscious belief. This is the unconscious. There is something that is giving to you that you are benefiting from in some way, and that benefit could no longer benefit you if you see a different beneficial way of thinking, or if you see a different beneficial way of acting or being or thinking. So it's all about identifying what it is that what you are making is what making you feel bad, why that bad feeling is coming up for you, and why it is understanding why you have continuously thought this perspective and seen this scenario from this angle, and then how this particular angle and this perspective has really given you something that you desired, which is to feel safe, protected, and secure in some way, shape, or form. So in order to really uproot that safety and security that's no longer making you feel good, because you're stagnated and you're contracted so much that you want to expand and like actually feel more integrated with the things that you want to be integrated with. And this is, you could do this as at your own pace, and you could do this in whatever way, shape, or form that is serving you or not serving you, and figure out what it is you want, because that's what we're here to do, is do what we want to do. And what we want is covered up and buried under so much bullshit, under so much lies and programming. And in order for us to step into our full awareness, our full spiritual integrity, our full integrity of our own character and our own essence, and find out what it is that really makes our heart sing and makes us feel at peace and joyful, we need to really get down to clearing out all the stuff that the mind stuff and the mind debris and the mind thoughts that are completely obscuring your vision and your feelings to feel good. Okay, so ask first what it is that you want, or what it is you are thinking that is or making you feel bad. Step one. Step two is asking why this feeling has served you, or why this feeling and thought is continuing to pop up. Is why this thought is in fact a thought of yours, and why it is you are thinking this, why it is you are feeling this. It's like, again, I'll give an example. Step two is about, like, say for example that you have a Instagram, you want to post on Instagram or YouTube on video camera, right? And you have a feeling of fear about being judged. So the reason why you feel bad about getting your phone and making a video is because your why the why that's making you feel bad, the reason that's making you feel bad, is because you are insecure about your character, and I shouldn't say that, because you are afraid of being judged or disliked or rejected by people. And then the list can go on, you know, like it could be as deep and abstract or obscure as you could possibly imagine, because there's so many reasons and ideas why we do things that are completely nonsensical and absurd. So when you ask this why question, you'll have a few different answers, and you could actually just, like, once you write them down, you could just actually laugh at them. You could laugh at them, and that will shift your energy and make you aware that that's not me. This is not what I think. This is not what I want to believe. And then you're immediately out of that vibration and that timeline and that probability of that continuing, of that persisting in your life, and you are now disattached and activated from that, in a sense. And usually the belief or the concept or the statement will stop occurring once you get to this point. And once you are in that position of laughing at it and kind of seeing it as something silly, or because that laughter is a state of becoming higher of it. It's in a position that you are no longer it, and you can kind of slip through the grasp of it, of the reasoning, and find another reasoning and find something else that you prefer. Okay, so the next is how, and the final one is finding out how that belief of not, or being fearing rejection, has benefited you. So the kind of superficial or concept or perspective that you are accepted has been benefiting you previously by not making the videos and saying what you want to say and sharing what you want to share on social media. But it's no longer serving you because you don't care as much about rejection. You care more about sharing your message. You care more about doing what it is that you desire. And in this example, you care more about expressing yourself and feeling good about what you say and what you do and your own actions. So asking that how thinking that you are keeping yourself safe is benefiting you and making you feel good in some way, is understanding that, you know, that has made me feel good in the past, and now I want to feel even better, and I will feel even better when I have integrated the thought that it doesn't matter what other people think, I can be myself no matter what, and I will be accepted by somebody, and I will accept myself unconditionally because I understand that it is much more important to my own state of being and my own happiness for me to be, do, and say what it is that is in alignment with my heart. Okay, so hopefully this wasn't too intellectual for you all. And remember these shapes. Remember, you know, the stop sign, the pointer, the focalizer, the direct targeting of why, and then how. Usually thoughts, most thoughts will, or beliefs will not get past the why. they'll immediately dissipate and leave, so to speak. And then the how is going to really get rid of those deep-rooted beliefs and thoughts that are not serving you, and you can reprogram or insert your new idea, your new why, and then completely reverse engineer the whole process of making a new belief. And the more consistent you are with this, the more you are changing and transforming negative thoughts and beliefs into positive ones, okay? So the circle again is the integration, and it come full circle, it's come into completion, it's come into unity, and there's no more hard edges or angles anymore. It's just it's a beautiful streaming flow of understanding, compassion, beauty, and unification. Okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on another video.